Imagine you woke up one morning and had no money. You find your bank account is empty, your credit cards have been canceled, everything on your computer has been erased, and it's all because of a big data breach. Well, tech expert Shelly Palmer says it is possible.
It is a doomsday scenario, and do you think it's coming?
I know it's coming. It's just a question of when. Someone asked me a question last week after that massive bank heist where they took $1 billion from 100 financial institutions.
They took $10 million from each bank.
Right. And they said, could that happen here? And it's like, well, we have a lot of banks in the United States that spend a lot of time doing business continuity preparation. So the idea that it could happen on a massive scale is not super plausible, but it could happen.
So what do you do?
So here's what it is. People call them data doomsday preppers, like doomsday preppers except for data. So we always talk about what you should do with your passwords and keep good passwords and
Change them often.
Yeah. Forget all that for a second. What about if it didn't matter? What if you really got attacked? What would you need to have saved? And I thought that was a really good exercise. So on my website, there's a thing called Doomsday Data Preppers, and it talks about the things you might want to save. For example, your financial records, your medical records, your real estate records, and how would you save them if they were all digital?
Print out a bank statements?
So a lot of people used to have printed bank statements, and we've all kind of gone the other way. I don't mind going the other way as long as you have a physical piece of digital media that's not connected to the internet. So you can buy a hard drive from Best Buy or an electronics store and back up your hard drive the way you're supposed to. But instead of leaving it attached to your computer, go put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Take it offline. You can use a little thumb drive or jump drive to take your sensitive financial data, your financial records, as well as your whatever medical records you might have, and get it off your computer. Just get it offline, throw it in a desk drawer. Crazy people who are really prepping data doomsday will make several copies, put one in the safe deposit box, mail one to Aunt Joan.
My wife has a backup of our computer hard drive in a safe deposit box, and her issue is photos. Should there ever be, say, a fire, God forbid, you'd lose everything.
That's correct. And so some people print out their photographs and put them in photo albums, but it doesn't prevent a loss by fire.
Right.
If you do have a digital archive of your photographs and you put it up in the cloud, if the cloud is summarily beaten up by bad guys, what do you have? Nothing. Now you could say, well, Facebook's never going to get beaten up and no one's ever going to hack Instagram. It's like, okay, I never say never. I might agree with that, except I don't agree with it because we know that anything that's online is vulnerable. So, although I wouldn't go extreme prepper, crazy extreme, I could argue that making a CD-ROM, a good old-fashioned CD-ROM, burning a CD of your photos and throwing them off to Aunt Tilly's house, not the worst idea that ever happened.
Or maybe just going the old-school route and putting them in a photo album.
Yeah, you could do that
They
too.
still sell those things.
Really? I haven't seen.
So.
Really? I like the photo books you can buy from the photos, you know.
But
sites.
I'm sure you do.
Back up the hard drive and do it at least probably once a month.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, you got to be backed up, and having your media not physically attached to the internet is actually a pretty decent idea. A backup routine, we talk about it all the time. Remember, security and backups are a lot like oxygen. You never notice it until it's missing.
Yeah,
all right,
very true.
Shelly
Thanks,
Palmer.
Shel.
Find him on Twitter at Shelly Palmer or at shellypalmer.com.